You're listening to Opus de Requiem, a 7th Sea actual play by Hallowed Haven Studios.
Hi, I'm Bookkeeper, and I'll be playing the Reverend Dr. Alexander Hutcheson, the Avalon Scholar.
I'm Clara Allison, and I'm playing Lucia Di Felici, the Vodace Straga.
Hi, I'm Glamour. I'm playing Viviana Lucani, the Vodace courtesan and daughter of Sophia.
Hi, I'm Overthinker. I'm playing Alonso Hernandez, the Castellan swordsman on a quest.
Hello, my name is Typhoon, and I will be playing Heinrich von Groth, the Isen war veteran.
And I'm Bloodied Porcelain. I'll be your storyteller for the evening.
The party wrapped up their activities for the evening, Heinrich cutting short Viviana's attempts to improve her standing with Sémø, the Emperor's wit. I met with a fellow revolutionary and learned who might be able to help us in finding Henri, while Lucia won a dress in a drinking game from Quiva, the Avalonian pugilist. Quiva joined us as we went to the Suckling Pig to check on Lucia's friends, then stayed to keep an eye on them while we returned to the college. Talking spiders turned out to be the least of the secrets revealed, a plot to kidnap the Imperatrix, the Villanova family being on Lucia's enemies, and the fact that our newly formed circle may be in greater danger than we had previously suspected. Nevertheless, matters at hand must be seen to, and while Lucia and the Reverend Doctors seek out the sender of the Arachnid messenger, Heinrich, Viviana, and myself return to the Suckling Pig to confront the brigands hunting for Lucia. Alexandra and Lucia investigate the Winter Apple Inn, discovering the Strega who sent the message, Lucia's distant cousin, recently murdered. This tragedy is somewhat abated by the discovery of mysterious music hidden among her things. Whoever our enemies may be, it seems they are moving quickly.
Other half of the party that is not in a room with a dead body currently, who is Heinrich, Alonso, and Viviana. Yes?
Yes, I think so.
Excellent.
And I would say we're not in the room with a dead body yet.
Yet. All right. You guys make it to the tavern, no problem. And when you reach there, it is as busy, if not busier, than it was when Alonso and Lucia left. There is music and bawdy drinking songs being sung, and the general din of people gathered around to talk and celebrate. And you get the feeling some people are probably people who have been working throughout the celebrations and are here to spend much of the money that they made while working.
Do I see the woman from earlier in her corner booth?
The redhead, you mean?
I had previously noticed one of our street pursuers
Okay.
through a window.
Let me see. Make me a... Actually, no. I'm not going to make you roll this. You do not currently see her in the booth where she was before. No.
Is the band still here?
Yes.
Okay. Here we are.
So you said you were taking us to see your pugilist friend, yes?
Yes and no. There are also several brigands who are following us, who may be after the band. Sort of point at them through the window.
Yes, I remember that part.
And we suspect these brigands were looking for you?
For me?
Or Alonso?
I cannot imagine why they would. Lucia seemed to think they had some connection to me, but what that could be, I cannot say. They came to the place where her friends are. She feared for her friends. That is why. That is why we are here.
If they're waiting in, if this is an ambush to trap Lucia, there is also the possibility that there may be more of them lying in wait outside of the tavern for her to return.
True.
And there's also some other woman you encountered here, if I recall correctly.
Yes, the pugilist. Her name escapes me. Red hair, trousers. Can't miss her.
Perhaps one of us should make contact with her to see if she observed where your target went before the rest of us enter the building.
Agreed.
I could do that.
Alonso sort of steps to the side and gestures to proceed.
Yes, I'm perhaps a bit too conspicuous.
Yes, conspicuous. Viviana, her hair was previously up. She, very swiftly, almost without thinking about it, removes all of the pins, keeping it in place, roughs it up, grabs, parts of her dress, and just seemingly carelessly just rips, makes a rip in it to make it look much more, beaten up and used.
All right. I feel like this should have some sort of a role. Let me look at your sheet. Let's go with panache and acting.
Ooh, panache and acting. Let me look at my acting.
And for once, your pretty dice will not apply because the point of this is to look more common. And that's going to hinder you.
Yeah.
Target number. Did you change before we did this? I can't remember.
I cannot
Because you were in
remember.
one of your best fucking dresses when you went in.
Yeah.
We went from Cissé's house to the university.
Yeah.
Here.
Okay.
Yeah, so I probably wouldn't have had a chance.
You are still in your super fancy dress, so your DC or your target number is going to be. Let's make it a 25.
Okay.
And if you want to take raises, you can make it seem more and more common and you'll be able to blend in more.
Sure, I'll take one raise.
So you're going for a target number 30.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Excellent. How many drama dice do you have?
I have 3.
Okay.
Don't need them.
Damn. Okay, 32. Well done.
Hell yeah.
You guys watch as Viviana slips a knife out of seemingly nowhere and begins to put strategically placed rips and tears, especially around the hem of her dress so that it looks like it's dragged the ground a lot. She does this thing where she sort of bends her knees a little bit so that her dress actually does sweep the ground and proceeds to use her feet to drag on the fabric to make it look much more worn, to get it dirty. She takes her hair out of its pins, and the pins again disappear kind of into her skirt somewhere. And she musses up her hair a lot. And at one point even reaches down and kind of takes just a little bit of it looks like soot from a brazier nearby and sort of puts it around her. It gets it onto her fingertips and uses it to sort of muss around like her jawline and whatnot, just to make herself seem like she's been out and working all day, and is coming in from a hard day of probably performing, given the way the dress looks now. It looks like a very well-made costume now that it's kind of been assaulted.
Viviana will take a deep breath, put on the smile that she uses when she's going in for any sort of performance in social situations, and proceed into the tavern, looking for the woman that was described to her.
Are you looking for the redhead, or are you looking for the brigand?
The redhead.
Okay. You walk in. It does not take long to find her. She kind of sticks out. She's the only redhead in the room, aside from a very tall man who is among the band. He's not quite as large as Heinrich, but he's pretty fucking close. And he's, got a thick beard. The redhead woman is in a she's in a circle with a number of other people, and they are what looks to they're performing some sort of game that is like half dance and half like balance challenge, where she's like standing on one foot, kind of up on the ball of it, and her other leg is like up and bent so that her thigh is like parallel to the floor, and she's balancing a mug of beer on her knee. While a man is standing across from her and doing the same thing and wobbling significantly more than she is. And she's got this kind of wicked grin on her face and is taunting him in this very lilting accent that I don't know that Viviana's ever heard it before. But you've heard enough about different accents and heard people mimic them enough to know that she's probably from the Glamour Isles, though which one you're not entirely sure.
Viviana will proceed towards her, and as she does so, casually slip the ring that she wears on her finger off, the one that covers the mark of the order.
Okay. It is worth noting that as you walk in, this woman in particular, you can tell is a hero, like at a glance.
Mm-hmm.
Your perception kind of opens up, and you can pick her out of the crowd as somebody who certainly qualifies as a hero. Most people here don't really like ping on that radar for you at all, as hero or villain or anything else, but she does.
As she slips the ring into a pocket, Viviana approaches this game that seems to be happening and says, "Well, you look like you're having fun."
Well, I've managed to take half the people in the room's money, so it's been an interesting evening. And she's her eyes don't leave the man in front of her for the moment. And you can watch him kind of wobbling, and she shouts something along the lines of, he'd have been better off born a stork, and people around her, laugh. If you want to compete, you'll have to give me a few minutes. I've got to take this one's money first.
Viviana laughs, she says in Avalon, "You only took half the people's money. I figured a woman like you would have taken money from everyone at this point."
She swaps to Avalonian, relatively smoothly, kind of glances at you out of the corner of her eye. "Well, I haven't been here that long. It does take time, after all. If you just go through the whole place, it takes all the fun out of it."
"And what kind of fun do you like to have?"
All kinds. This is one of my favorites, though not my number one favorite. But it turns out the Montanians aren't really aren't really fans of friendly fighting.
Yes, you do look like someone whose hands would be put to good use.
Viviana, roll me a roll me just a straight wits roll.
Mm-hmm. Straight wits.
Don't worry,
Target
Heinrich,
number?
I'm sure she's entirely mission focused.
Target number is we're only going to make this a 10 because I think it's something you'd probably be looking for anyway.
Whoa.
Roll me another d10 because that's one of those is a 10.
Oh, I may have put that in wrong. Let me just 1d10. Yep.
All right, 25, not bad. As she is standing there this way, she does this thing where her hands have kind of been like at her side pretty casually. But as she is taunting this man, you can tell from having watched enough people dance and enough people fight, really, that it's all for show. But she does this thing where she's acting like she's kind of wobbly and her hands come up to her sides, like she's trying to catch herself. And you could see on her hand, on her finger, the same finger where you have your marking, she is wearing an ornate ring. It is silver, and it looks like there is inlaid gold vine work. And on top of it, to kind of top the whole ring off, is a pair of gold, they look like antlers. They're small, they don't like cover her whole hand or anything like that, but they kind of stretch up along the top of her finger just a little bit towards her knuckle.
Okay.
But it is very well sized to cover up a marking much like your own.
Viviana will smile at that, and then try to walk into a place where she's more in the woman's line of sight, and say, "Well, I hate to interrupt a woman's fun, but I did need to talk to you a bit urgently."
She glances up at you again. You could see her eyes kind of glance to your hand, and she gives a little sigh. Well, very well. I'll stop having my fun. And she goes back and forth with the man for just a moment, and proceeds to just like lay on the taunting and the shit talking. She's not being cruel, but she's definitely teasing him and working to get a rise out of him. And it does not take long for him to kind of wobble just a little bit too hard because he's laughing, and he stumbles and his drink falls. And before the drink can go clattering to the floor, her drink is in one of her hands, and her other hand kind of shoots out like a snake and grabs his mug before it goes to the floor with him. And she takes a long drink out of her own and walks over and hands you his. All right. What did you need?
Oh, well, I was made aware by some of my friends that they met with you earlier about a bad patch of people.
Aye, the Castilian and the Vidachan.
Yes. They are waiting outside out of concern that there may be more. Have you noticed anything in the time that you've been here?
Aye, I've noticed a bit. Nothing worth talking about, though.
Viviana will glance to see if the tavern's pretty packed, right?
Oh, yeah.
Is there like a corner that's unoccupied?
Not really. But when she sees you kind of glance her out, she kind of cocks her head a little bit. Do you need a quiet place to have a chat?
That would be appreciated. I will go alert my friends as well, so they may join us.
All right.
And Viviana will go alert Alonso and Heinrich that she has found the redhead.
Cool. I head in, hat pulled low.
Yeah, I guess we go into the tavern.
When the two of you walk in, the redhead's eyes kind of land on Heinrich, and she gives a long, low whistle.
He's engaged.
It's just rare to see a man that big outside of the Highlands.
Thank you. But yes, as he said, I am engaged.
You're not the only one. Come on in. And she'll kind of gesture for you to follow her, and she'll press through the crowd of bodies. Stop very briefly where the circle of people that she was in the middle of had been gathered, and she goes back and forth in rapid Montagnan with one of them before he kind of gives a little scowl and shakes his head and drops a small pouch into her palm, which she takes and flips a couple of coins. Flips a couple of coins back to him. Buy a round. And then there's a little cheer, which seems to alleviate most of the annoyance that the people around her had. And she leads you through the rest and down or past a doorway into what looks like a private dining space. And she kind of steps aside and lets you in. It's not the most fancy space. It's like a small room with a couple of like tables that have been pressed together, trestle tables. But it allows more privacy than the room beyond.
Well, first of all, thank you for your assistance. I understand you agreed to keep an eye on these brigands that my friends suspected were hunting them.
Well, there was only the one, but I kept an eye on her, and your friends' friends, the players, they didn't go anywhere, so they were fine.
Indeed. We're still concerned about these strangers. And you only ever saw the woman?
That's the only one that came in the main room. I couldn't watch them both.
See.
And did you see where she went when she left?
She either left and headed down the street, or she went upstairs. It was hard to tell. Too many people. And like I said, I couldn't watch her and the band at the same time.
Then I sort of glance over at Heinrich. I have a suggestion that I think most of us will enjoy. It seems we are, if our young companion is correct, and these brigands are targeting her through her friends, we are in a position of defense. Therefore, we are obliged by duty as her companions to stay here until the evening is over and the performers depart the stage.
agree. Yes, we should keep an eye on the place. The woman may return from one of the rooms upstairs.
If foul play is afoot, we will be present. If not, we will have learned so. And I, for one, could use a drink.
A drink would not be amiss.
Out of curiosity, where is your young friend?
She had other business to attend to.
Yes. She is not alone.
Well, unless all of your friends are as heavy hitters as the two of you, and she kind of gestures at Alonso and Heinrich. I hope whoever's with her is as capable.
In his own way.
What I saw from watching the woman was that she watched the group a fair bit, but she didn't seem all that actually interested in them. She kept looking at kept looking around the room and watching the door. Like she was waiting for someone.
Indeed. It is possible that this is a misunderstanding and we have stumbled on some form of concealed action that has nothing to do with us. But I do not think so.
More likely, she got bored of waiting and departed.
Or went to seek the rooms of the band, that there might be some hint within them about our companion's actual location.
Very possible also.
She kind of leans back against the table and eventually shifts to just sit on it. You can see her kind of like cracking her knuckles, that sort of thing. Viviana, you could see that at one point that ring around her finger gets like she slips it down a little bit, like she's trying to because she's trying to massage at the knuckle above it. And you can see that she bears the same mark you do. It's very, very brief, and looks incredibly casual, but to you it would seem pretty fucking deliberate.
Yes. Viviana just sort of fiddles with her pockets, slips her own ring back on.
And almost as fast as she slid the ring down, she pushes it back into place. Well, I'm happy to stay. I don't know how much more of their money the people are going to let me take, but...
It seems to me that what you need is a little bit of stiff competition.
And for your assistance, of course, your drinks are our treat.
She kind of chuckles. Oh, it's not necessary, but I appreciate the thought. The other thought, if your brigands are really after you or your friend, or her friends for that matter, it wouldn't necessarily do for us all to be in the room.
See.
If I walked in and saw the two of you there, I'd turn around and walk back out.
Which is not what we want. If these are indeed criminals intent on doing harm, it would seem our most effective course of action is to catch them in the act, red-handed.
Either that or... She'd kind of shrug a little bit. Lay a trap.
I'm always up for being bait if need be.
That your friends being stalked. But I believe our bait is already in clear view. Nonetheless, I may seek to rent a room that I might make sure none have been broken into.
You certainly could, though I don't think you necessarily need to look to rent anything to do that. There's so many people in there, they're not going to notice if you walk upstairs. Just act like you belong there. That's all it really takes most of the time.
Thank you. Other than that, should we, if they are not interested in the band, moving them would not necessarily be useful, but if they are, inviting them to another place, promise a bit or tips.
I'd say
Draw
as
the
long as
attackers into the street.
I'd say as long as the band is around a large group of people, they're quite safe. But if we wanted to use them as bait, it seems cruel, but it would perhaps be effective.
Very effective.
I don't think they're here for the band. She didn't seem all that interested in them. Like, she kept them in her line of sight, but it wasn't them she was looking at the most. She kept looking at the door. Like I said, it looked like she was waiting for someone. Maybe she got tired of waiting. Maybe she went and found a place to hide. I don't know. But I don't think the band is who she was looking for. And even if they were, they're not in any danger as long as they're here.
You kept waiting for somebody to walk in.
I've got a thought. But I'll need your help. And she'll nod at Viviana.
Of course. So long as you are not asking me to jump off of a cliff, I should be able to help.
I wouldn't do that unless I thought there was something to catch a fall at the bottom. Let's see. It'll take some doing, and she'll she circles Viviana for a minute, and at one point kind of reaches up and tousles her hair a little bit, and then kind of gathers some of it up and holds it like it's a kind of messy, like bun-like ponytail at the back of her head. Yeah, I think we could manage. You're a little bit taller, but from a distance, I think we could make you look enough like your friend.
Ah, I see.
Put you and she nods at Alonso. Together, alone? I think that's enough bait. Assuming your friend is who they're really after. Like I said, the band will be safe here. They're making plenty of coin. They're not going anywhere anytime soon.
I like this plan. If you are all right with it.
Oh, me? Yes, I'm fine. I have been in worse positions, arguably.
Very well.
All right. Wait here. I'm gonna find us somewhere to change your clothes. She's looking at Viviana for a minute and then shakes her head a little bit and leaves the room. Does anybody follow, or are you actually staying?
Viviana will follow her.
All right. You see her kind of walk over to the players, and she leans in and is kind of half shouting. It's hard to hear what she's saying because it's so loud in the room, but she is half shouting to one of the women who kind of like leans in and gives her a look for a minute. And then Quiva produces a couple of coins and presses them into her palm. And the woman kind of gives a nod and hands over what looks like a key. And then she kind of like does that sort of like follow me head nudge.
Yep. Viviana will follow.
And leads you upstairs and down the hall to a room It takes her a few minutes to find a room with a door that matches the key that she's carrying, but eventually she finds it and opens it up. The room is kind of a mess inside, and you could tell that it belongs to at least some of the players that are downstairs, because there's brightly colored clothing and makeup and things like that kind of everywhere.
Viviana steps inside, looks around, says, "The life of a performer might have been simpler."
Most lives are. And she shuts the door behind you. All right, well, we've only got a few minutes before we have to be downstairs. She starts kind of shuffling through the clothing, looking for something that looks reasonably close to what she has in mind. And she kind of glances over her shoulder at you. How much have you managed to get done on your mission?
I have my foot in the door with Lady Sémø. I'm hoping one more push will be enough to get her to invite me to an attendance with the Empress, the Imperatrice.
And what's your plan from there?
Well, first I have to make contact with her, establish that I am here for her benefit and not for some manner of trap. And then I have to secure passage to get her the hell out of here.
Well, the latter I can help with. I'm not entirely sure I'd go your route. You're making yourself a well-known figure, but let you do what you're going to do. I'll do my best to make sure that I'm in position to help when the time comes.
I appreciate that.
She stands up from shuffling through this massive trunk of what you could tell is of cheap but very brightly made clothing, and she pulls out a dress that, while not exactly like Lucia's stuff is well made, given her background. At a distance could probably pass for one of Lucia's traveling dresses. Well, you're a bit taller than she is, but I think it'll do.
It'll have to.
I'd have preferred red, but here we are.
So, Viviana will just kind of carelessly begin taking her own dress off so that she can change, very quickly. You're engaged.
In a manner of speaking.
Shame.
Why is that?
Well, I'm just saying. Just a comment.
She kind of arches a brow at you like she doesn't buy that at all. And then kind of steps behind you and reaches up to start fiddling with your hair to pin it back in that kind of messy ponytail style that Lucia tends to get when she's not out trying to be impressive. You could see her taking the time to grab pieces of your hair to curl them around her fingers and then muss them a little bit to make them kind of frizzy and untamed the way that Lucia's hair tends to be. To be, I don't know. It's complicated. Let's put it that way. Technically, yes, I'm engaged.
Do you
Although
want to?
It'll be a it'll be a cold day in the abyss before I let that happen.
Oh, so it is not of your choosing.
Well, no, it rarely is for most of us, is it?
True. Viviana looks over at her, gives her a smile, kind of eyes her up and down. You know, being engaged, especially if it's not of your choosing, doesn't prevent you from having fun.
Oh, I'm well aware.
Good.
All right, I think that, and she kind of chews her lip for a minute and then goes back to the trunk, shuffles through it, and pulls out a choker, which she proceeds to kind of tie off around your throat. I think that's about as good as it's gonna get. Try not to look so. And she kind of makes a gesture with her hands, like you know exactly what's going on all the time.
Yes, I'll have to try to shrug that off. She gives her a sharp smile. I was right. You are good with your hands.
In more ways than one. All right, let's go get the woman her key back before she starts thinking I'm trying to rob her and not just buy you one of her outfits.
Yes, let's go.
She lets you out of the room, locks the door behind her, and makes her way downstairs, where she tosses the key back to the woman, to one of the players who catches it, pockets it, and then looks you over as you walk into the room and kind of tilts her head a little bit, gives a little shrug, like, I don't understand why that dress is better than what she had, but whatever. You got the feeling from the coins that you saw handed over that what she was given was probably worth more than like 4 of the dresses. 4 of this dress would have been.
Viviana will attempt to, as she was walking down, she just attempted to make her posture less certain. She tried to pick up sort of the habit of like wringing her hands in her dress like a nervous tick, not looking around to be vigilant, but just sort of looking around because she's curious. A sort of wide-eyed naivete.
Quiva sort of nods her head when she sees your face change or whatnot. That's not bad.
Yes, I should hope so.
All right. Now, where's your friends? And she'll kind of like lead you back into that back room, open the door, and kind of gesture you in.
Viviana will go forward. She, again, keeps up the habits that she's attempting to adopt. Does not acknowledge Alonso and Heinrich at first.
Welcome back. That was took less time than I expected.
Well, it's faster when there's 2 working on it. All right. Where exactly did you run into these groups?
Alonso does a little turn, like he's getting his bearings. South. About maybe 10 blocks. Maybe 10 blocks south and 3 east. 5
And where were you
east,
headed?
somewhere in there. We were headed to, well, the place where we met you. The other pub.
I see.
They'd been tailing us for a moment, and once I felt them, I did a couple of turns around the block to ensure it. Confronted them, they said they were headed here. Gave them the most polite possible fuck off, and they did.
All right, well, then my suggestion is the 2 of you start making your way to where you were going before. And me and the big man, and she'll kind of gesture to Heinrich. We'll tell you. See if we can cut them off from behind.
Good.
Good.
Unless that doesn't work for you, and she'll look at Heinrich.
Works for me.
All right.
A note. When blades are drawn, jump in. Until then, we do not want to let them think they have the advantage so that they attack. Yes?
Yes.
No, that was the plan.
Of course.
Excellent.
As an aside, I'm not armed. Don't worry about it. If I tell you don't worry about it, then do what you've got to do. And if they take off, I'll slow down who I can. Let you all deal with the chasing.
Good. I turn and extend my arm. Shall we?
We shall. Viviana will take Alonso's arm.
All right. You two are able to leave the inn and make your way out onto the street. Heinrich, Quiva leads you out of this room and back towards a door that is kind of beside the bar. And you get the feeling nobody but people who work here are supposed to go there. It's probably where like the kitchen is. And she leans in and again kind of speaks in rapid Montanian to the man there, slides up a couple of coin, and he just sort of shrugs, takes it, and gestures. And she leads you through the back, through the kitchen, and out a back door.
Now, how far behind do you think we should follow? I do tend to stand out a bit. I'm worried about being too close.
Aye, that would be why we're going to stick to alleyways as much as we can. I'll loop around if I need to get a better vantage. But as long as you're reasonably close, just behind behind a direct line of sight to keep a building between you and them, between you and anyone who might be following, you should be fine.
Very well. I will rely on you. I have not, unfortunately, learned the alleys of the city very well yet.
Hey, I'll make sure you don't get lost. And she kind of pauses and looks around and then up at the buildings. Right. I'm going to get a bird's eye view. You just walk that way and she'll point you down this like kind of long alley that passes behind a bunch of the buildings. You can tell that when you get to the corner of this building, there is literally an alleyway that looks out onto the street. It's just that there's like basically a passage between the rows of buildings. It's not very big back here. You get the feeling that if you were forced to draw your weapon and fight back here, it would not be simple. Half of what you normally do would probably not be available to you because there just wouldn't be enough space. But it is good cover from a direct line of sight to the street unless you're passing through one of those across one of those open alleyways. She looks at one of the buildings and grabs onto her kind of fingers grip onto the side of, or onto like oh my goodness, what's it called? Like one of the beams that runs up along the corner of a building, you know? And she kind of plants her feet on the beam itself and begins to kind of monkey her way up.
Alonso will remember that.
Alonso isn't there to see it.
Okay.
You two are in front of the building, whereas she and Heinrich were behind the building. And you have begun to make your way down the street.
So, how are you and Lucia getting along?
Do they in Vedoce have the term like cats and dogs?
Yes. She will say in Castine, our languages are fairly similar.
Not all the idioms translate. But yes, she is infuriating. And forgive, please.
I'm certain you're just as infuriating.
Yes, but what I do makes sense. She lunged into the street to see the people who might be trying to kill her.
Well, she survived.
Yes, because she ran, because I told her to. It is
Vivi.
surely a gift from Theos that she is breathing still.
Oh, it is absolutely a gift. Did I tell you that there is now a rumor that she has very unnaturally big feet because she decided to run back to the party without her shoes on?
That image shall be burned into my mind. She looked like she had been chased by wild animals. Though I understand her reasoning on that. Leaving behind the ring would have been very bad.
It would have been very bad indeed. Lucia, she is reckless. But she does what she does with a lot of heart, and frankly, I am happy that Vodace wasn't able to take that from her.
And I'm happy that the heart has not been corrupted by some sorceress influence. It is a sad star to be born beneath. But she pursues her desire with such purity. It is paradoxical.
Yes. It is almost as though being born with sorcery does not actually determine whether or not you are a good person. Viviana rolls her eyes.
I am sure that there are good people who have sorcery, just as I am sure that in time sorcery would appeal to her in ways that it would not to me. I am not tempted.
You are not a sorcerer.
Exactly. A sorcerer always has the option, and sooner or later, they take it.
You know, I thought that you were more loose than that.
Loose in what way? We are in a city that exemplifies this. A king with entirely too much power neglects his people. How can you say that sorcery does not do harm?
There are plenty of men who have power and no sorcery who do plenty of harm. Believe me, I have seen it.
Perhaps, certainly there are. Evil need not come with sorcery, but I have learned much of what I have learned leans into this, that sorcery leads to harmful acts.
Alonso.
See.
One of these days I'm just going to kiss you to shut you up.
One of these days, I think he pauses and he looks at her, just trying to gauge if she's being serious or if she's screwing around.
She looks deadpan and very serious.
I do not know if that day will come.
Viviana doesn't appear very affected by that. Yes, perhaps it will not come if you talk less. about things like sorcery and religion and things that need not concern us at the moment.
You brought up the subject.
I brought up Lucia.
Yes, the subject of Lucia is inherently connected to her elements of her nature, and are you trying to start a fight, or are we just talking?
I don't know. I thought we were just talking.
Then let us talk.
Frankly, if I wanted to fight with you, I think you would be very aware of it.
Good.
All right. We are going to pause there and pivot back to Lucia and the good Reverend Doctor. You are in a room with a body. Lucia is hurriedly attempting to copy as much of the sheet music into Alexander's journal as possible. What's going on?
Right.
Panic.
Take the music downstairs. Keep copying. I'm going to talk to the bartender, have them summon the musketeers.
Are you sure we should do that? Aren't we going to get implicated?
We will momentarily, but if it's found out later and the story comes back that we were here, we left, no one saw what happened, and she was found dead, that implicates us worse. And
all right.
I cannot in good conscience just leave her here like this.
I understand. And Lucia will grab the all the sheet music and carry it downstairs, I guess.
All right. Down into the inn proper, the common area, which is currently full of patrons.
Oh, and the box of spiders.
And the box of spiders. Okay. Are you looking for a place to sit? Are you gonna just make yourself as small and unobtrusive as possible? What's the plan?
I'm gonna see if I can find a table or like a place to sit and work that is as out of the way as possible.
Okay. You are able to find a table that's kind of off to the side. You're still in the main room. It's kind of impossible to not be in the thick of all of the people. But you put yourself as close to the wall as you can get.
And then I just start copying what I can.
Okay. Make me a... Let's go wits and musician. Target number 15 will get you a handful of pages, and for every raise you take on top of that, you will get more.
Can I take 2 raises?
You can absolutely go for a 25. That's a 26. Pretty good. You can roll that 10 again if you would like. For an 8. Ooh. Lovely. That's 34. Okay. Awesome. You set to work. You are very focused. Alexander.
Yes.
What are you doing?
Alexander is going to close the door, go downstairs, go to the bar, put a couple of francs on the bar, say, I have 2 glasses of wine, and you will need to send a runner to summon the musketeers. I'm afraid the lady in the room right up there has been murdered.
I'm sorry, what?
She's dead. We went up to see her and her throat was cut. You have a dead body in a room. You should call the Musketeers.
He looks kind of stunned. Like, this is not something he hears every day.
Sure.
And so there's a moment where he just sort of stares at you and then goes, yes, all right, yes. And he kind of like turns and shuffles out from behind the bar. You could see him grab a young man who is carrying a cord of firewood in from outside. And you can see he was going towards what you assume is probably the kitchens to add that to the fire. And he grabs him and takes the firewood and tells him to go and fetch the musketeers. And the young man kind of looks confused, and then he tells him what happened, and the boy's eyes kind of go wide and nod, and he nods and runs out. And the bartender takes the firewood back towards where you assume the kitchen is, while the boy is out running around looking for musketeers.
I will wait patiently for him to return so I can get my wine.
He shows back up and gives you your wine a few minutes later. Doesn't take long.
Merci, monsieur. When they arrive, my companion and I will be over there to answer any questions.
All right. And he kind of turns and goes back to what he was doing, and you can hear him muttering to himself about how bad this is going to be for business. But also kind of how much he hates when the city is this busy.
I take the mugs over. I put one in front of Lucia. My apologies, I cannot speak as to the quality. I don't know that he was paying that close of attention.
Lucia doesn't answer. Instead, you hear her mumbling, and you can hear her sight singing the music she's copying down.
I would like both of you to roll me raw resolve checks, please. No target number. A 19 and a 16. Okay, not bad.
Doesn't that 10 explode?
Oh, wait. Yep. Yes, it does. That makes that a 24. All right. Alexander, you don't know the song, never heard it before. It seems okay. Lucia, you are zeroed in. You've got almost obsessive concentration on this stuff. And it's you're still copying it, but for you, it's not even about copying the music anymore. It's about understanding it. And trying to make sense of it.
Can I tell that there's something hinky with it?
Not really. It's nothing you've ever heard before. What you can tell is what seems to get you is that it seems like as you are copying it, the songs seem to kind of change in the middle of them, like they go from one style to the next, fluidly.
It doesn't feel like Vodachan music proper.
In fact, some of it very distinctly feels Vodachan, some of it very distinctly feels Montanian. Some of it is from places you've heard some stuff from Castile and whatnot over the years. But it also kind of doesn't seem like any of those things at the same time. And mid-song, it'll go from Vodachan to Castilian to Montanian to something else, and so on and so forth.
It feels as if, and Lucia kind of is mumbling, she's talking to herself more than she's talking to Alexander, but she understands he's still here. It feels as if maybe there are multiple people writing this.
Alexander, peering at the sheet music as she's transcribing, is there any indication? I've been working with music code for the past week or so. Is there any indication that this is a code?
let me look at your sheet.
One of the things that's not on my sheet as a member of the Invisible College, I know the music and math codes that the college uses.
Gotcha.
The knack for that is usually composer.
Roll me wits and composer. Yeah, let's start with that. There might be more rolls. We're looking at a target number. Let's go target number 25.
Okay. I got 3 drama dice. I will take 1 raise.
Okay. So we're going for a 30.
We are. I'm not going to need drama dice.
Nope, reroll that 10. All right. I'm trying to think of how to explain this. This is not like a code that you have ever seen before. It is not something that the Invisible College does. You know that right off. That said, you can kind of start to make out patterns where there might be something hidden under all of under the music or deciphered from the music. You would probably need more than she has managed to copy down just yet, because she's only been at this for a short period of time, and time. And one of the things you can tell, however, is that you will probably need to sit down and kind of disentangle it, because the way that it is written for multiple different types of instruments. So you would probably have to, at some point, sit down and go and like kind of pick it apart. You know what I mean? Put the violin with just the violin and harp with just the harp, and so on and so forth. And you might be able to get something from that. You can tell that it is absolutely, there is something more to it than just music, though.
And so he takes a drink of his wine. He's looking at it for a second. He stares, goes into his jacket, pulls out his little gold wire-rimmed glasses, puts them on. That's a code of some sort.
How do you mean?
Well, you've no doubt already noticed it keeps switching back and forth. It's different styles. The keys keep switching.
My guess is more that multiple people wrote this together.
A possibility, but look here. And he pushes 2 pages aside. It's a pattern here, and a pattern here, and a pattern there.
With him pointing it out to you, Lucia, you can kind of see it. You're not entirely sure what he's getting at, because patterns do tend to show up a lot in music. But this is a man who speaks far more languages than you do and is far more educated than you are, so he may be right. It's not completely out of the question. It's not completely out of the question, based on what you know.
It's done this way in order to make it look something like a jumble, but and it would take some doing to untangle it. But this is a secret message of some sort.
Then it is all the more important we keep the music we can get.
Indeed.
All right. We are going to pop back over to the other group real quick. I would like everybody, Heinrich, Viviana, and Alonso, to all make me wits rolls if you have street navigation, you can use that. If you have something like awareness, you could use that.
Perception?
Yes, that's what I meant. Target number is going to be 20.
21.
So we have a 16, a 10, and a 21. Would either Heinrich or Viviana like to spend drama dice?
I'm gonna keep my drama dice.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep mine also.
Okay. Alonso, you and Viviana are having this conversation. And you're pretty engrossed. You can tell she absolutely is very engrossed in what you guys are talking about. Which would explain why it seems like you are the only one of the two of you who notices a couple of kind of dark, a couple of people walking several buildings back who seem like they are kind of shadowed, like shrouded in shadow as they pass between buildings. It almost looks like they are purposefully sticking close to buildings that don't have a lot of light coming from inside of them.
Mm-hmm. Are there 3 of them?
Well, you didn't take a raise, so you know that there's at least a couple, but you're not entirely sure how many.
Fair enough. I think we're going to take a left and then slow down to let them catch up.
Okay. Roll me a single d10. No target number, just roll it.
10.
All right, well, lucky for you, the side of the street that Heinrich and Quiva are on is the left. So when you kind of turn that corner and slow down, you don't put yourself immediately out of reach.
Cool.
I would like all of you to make the same roll again, please. For Heinrich and Viviana, it's TN 20. For Alonso, I'm dropping it to 15, because you already know they're there. Reroll your 10, Heinrich.
22.
Excellent.
I will take a raise to put it back to 20
Okay.
and hit it dead on.
All right,
with a
roll your
reroll.
10.
27.
Very good. All right. Heinrich, with them rounding the corner, you realize what's happening and you stop yourself at the end of the alley that they step into, and you kind of step back around the edge of the building so that you're in shadow and there's no light like falling on your armor, which would be bad. And you can see that they are stopping, and you can see like out and beyond them. You can catch a glimpse of a figure in like the alley across the street. It is currently in shadow, but you can see that it is there. Viviana, you don't pick up on anything. You're not entirely sure why he has stopped and pulled you, like, in between a couple of buildings for a minute there. You're wondering if if he is about to make you cash in on the whole kiss him to shut him up thing. Alonso, you kind of turn to her like you are stopping to say something, and you could see over her shoulder in the distance there are at least 4 figures that have kind of spread themselves out.
Do you know what I like about liars? You can always trust them to lie. And I
Viviana.
step out to direct my attention towards this group.
Okay.
He has good eyes.
Viviana, what are you doing?
Viviana will, she's going to let Alonso take the lead on this. She will not step out fully, but she wants to like see if she can catch a glimpse of like the people that he seems to be addressing.
With him out there and talking to them, you kind of glance back down the street, and it's hard to see them at first, but what actually makes them visible to you is the fact that when he starts yelling and he steps out into the street, is clearly addressing somebody other than you. They stop, and just that the movement ending is what kind of draws your eyes to a couple of them.
She will stay mostly hidden and behind a building where she kind of glanced out to look at them before.
Heinrich, what do you do?
He will draw his sword, but kind of keep it concealed within his cloak, so no light reflects off of it, and move. Well, maybe not. But just make sure that he's in a position to hear what's being said and be ready to charge if it appears there's any danger.
Okay. Alonso, you are talking to these four figures down the street. Just to be clear, you have not seen the one that is in the alley across the street from you. Mm-hmm. You were focused on the ones behind you.
Yep.
They all kind of stop when you start yelling towards them. And then you see as one of them, a cape that they are wearing kind of gets brushed to the side, and you can see the glint of light on the handguard of a blade as it is drawn.
I think Alonso, in spite of the seriousness of the situation, cracks a little smile, makes a fist with his left hand, tucks it to the small of his back, draws his sword as he steps forward a little bit and says, "Good. Let us not waste time."
All right. I need all three of you to roll me your initiative, please.
That is our panache, correct?
Correct. And as an aside, panache, 10s on initiative rolls do not explode.
Now, because I am using the Aldana fighting style, I roll an additional initiative dice and keep the better results.
That is fine.
And with the Drexel style, if I attack, my dice count as one lower. And for breaking ties, my total counts as 3 more. Just to make things harder to keep track of.
Thanks.
I also have lightning reflexes, so I'm going to re-roll that 10.
Okay.
Putting my total at 2 1s and an 8.
Okay. I'm just gonna ask each of you what numbers you got and let you tell me, because that was a lot of changing and re-rolling and whatever. It's hard for me to keep track of. Did anybody get 1s?
2 of them.
Did anybody get 2?
Yes.
3? 4? 5?
Yes.
6? 7?
1 7.
8?
1 8.
Oh wow, all of you are going on 8. Cool. 9?
9.
2 9s.
10. Okay.
Thank you for listening to Opus de Requiem. If you enjoyed this story, please make sure to subscribe and review wherever you're listening to our podcast. You can find more of our actual plays on our website at www.hallowedhavenstudios.com. Please consider supporting us on Patreon at patreon.com/hallowedhavenstudios. Your support helps us make more stories like this possible.
Before we jump directly into the combat, I'm going to swing back over to the other two because I suspect the combat's going to take a little bit. Lucia and Alexander, you are still busily copying the sheet music, yes?
See,
Okay.
we're putting that one-track mind to use.
Excellent. As you are working and kind of like hyper focused on this, and Alexander has kind of like taken a little bit of a step back to give you space to work, so that he's not distracting you while you're doing it. You begin to hear, or I should say, like in your head, you begin to hear a little tune kind of happening at the back of your mind. It's there enough that you notice it, but not so much that you can focus on it. Anytime you try to focus on it, it seems to escape you.
That is maddening. But it's not the music that I'm copying, correct?
You don't think so? But it's hard to tell because anytime you try and pay attention to it, you can't remember what it sounded like.
Is there something I can roll to try to get a better grasp on it?
Yes. I will allow you to roll me straight resolve. This is a target number 30.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I have drama dice. At least resolve is my best stat, technically. I would like to roll a drama die. Oh, wait, hold on.
You have a 10. For once in your life, you didn't roll like yourself.
Wow.
Ooh.
Hold on. Wow, hold on.
What? Am I wrong?
You're not, but wow. I'm so burned. Anyway, deeply painful. I know my reputation.
Okay.
That is 36. Bitch.
You manage to clear your thoughts and focus on the music, and try to kind of wrap your metaphorical hands around it. And it's like trying to grab onto a live thing that does not want to be caught. You get a snippet here, a snippet there, a couple of notes. It's very hard to follow and hold on to it. You get enough to know that it is not the song that you are working on well, at least not the parts of the song that you are working on right now. It may still be in the pile of pages that you've got from her music, but it's none of the stuff that you've already looked at. It is also a song that you are confident you have never heard before. Your head begins to ache. Like you feel almost like you were up for like 2 days, working really hard mentally the whole time, and you've got like a stress migraine from it all at once.
I don't care. If I can copy even down a little bit of it to keep it, I will throw it into the margins of one of the sheets I'm working on.
Okay.
I'll fuck myself up. It's fine.
Roll me wits and a musician. Your target number is going to be 20. If you take raises, you get more of it.
Fine. I'd like to take one raise.
Okay, so we're aiming for 25.
Hold on, I gotta reroll a 10. Something might be deeply wrong.
Lucia having good luck? Yeah. Planets are in alignment or something.
32.
Okay. You do get a little bit more, even as the pain kind of begins to rise and your temples begin to throb, and it gets a little hard to focus. You manage to get out a couple more bars of music before it's so bad that you can barely see straight. It gets hard to focus on writing anymore. And the world around you seems kind of muddled and vague. Like your eyes just won't focus. You could see like colors and shapes where people should be, but it's really hard to see much of anything. The one thing that you do notice is, and it's strange because you aren't trying for this, but you realize that you can see a fate thread that is unlike any of the ones that you would normally see. It is this kind of delicate gold color. And it is coming from like, your center mass, like most of your fate threads would. But it does this strange thing where it comes from you and it kind of wraps around you before it goes off into the distance. And you could see, it looks like it reaches out and touches out Alexander as well. But by the time it gets to him, like your vision's super blurred.
Lucia tries to tries to touch it in that way that you're not really capable. One would if it was physically there. And then sort of looks at Alexander. Dottore, I don't feel good. Something's very wrong here.
You do look a bit peaked.
There's music that's not this. There's something happening. And I'm gonna be a dumbass. And Lucia will stop copying the music for a second because she clearly can't anymore and just hum what she has.
Alexander?
Yep.
Roll me resolve.
Target number?
There is no target number, just roll.
Okay.
Or I should say, there is one, but I'm not going to tell you what it is.
Well.
Damn. Reroll your 10s.
I'm scared. We need good dice rolls for the fighters.
Comes out to a 30 even.
All right. You are able to read the music that she wrote down. It is nothing you have ever heard before. You feel, I don't want to say unsettled, but like vaguely hyper vigilant suddenly. It doesn't seem like it would be an unpleasant melody if it were played, but it's nothing you are familiar with. Okay. And is in a style that you are not familiar with. Which is strange, because you're you, and you're familiar with most things.
I've not heard that particular melody before.
It's haunting me, I think.
It is also worth noting that she only got a few bars. It's not a lot.
Yeah.
I would. This is all I can copy, and now I feel like a cobblestone.
Yeah. Pass me the papers. Lean back. Catch your breath. Have some wine. I'll keep transcribing until we get interrupted.
Lucia will do so.
I would like for Alexander to roll me a single d10 and then to roll me wits and composer, please. Your target number for composer is, we'll say, 20, and for every raise that you take above that, you will manage to get more pages copied.
I will take 2 raises.
All right, so we're going for 30.
Oof. It's burn a drama die. There it is.
All right, roll again because it's a 10. Excellent. All right. You continue to work. It takes a bit before you are interrupted. Lucia, you do not feel better at all during this time. It's almost worse because now the music in your head is almost deafening, which makes it so that not only is it hard to see, it is hard to hear the people around you. And anytime you try to focus on looking at anything, the only thing that comes out clear is that strange gold thread that seems to be wrapped around you.
Lucia does what I used to do as a little kid when I got really overwhelmed at restaurants. And she kind of, on if she's sort of on like a long bench, she will like lay on the side of on her side on the bench.
Okay.
And sort of tug on Nilda Torres' like sleeve. I cannot, at the risk of putting you in more danger, I don't think this is good, but I need it out of my head.
It is about this time that the doors open and a group of men in blue tabards enter the tavern. Or inn.
Alexander will lean over to Lucia. The moment we have finished with the musketeers, I shall see you safely to bed.
I do not think we have time.
Well, we can't go running past them, not unless you wish to try and get the music out of your head while your blood flows out across the floor.
She just lets go of your sleeve and like goes back to laying on the bench.
All right. Alexander, the musketeers are talking quietly with the man who was behind the bar. And he, you can tell he is talking very rapidly. Occasionally he gestures at the stairs and kind of vaguely upstairs. And then at other times he points at you and Lucia. He looks distressed and a little upset. More than a little upset. And the musketeers seem to be simultaneously trying to slow him down so that what he is saying makes sense, and look a little concerned. And the man who is commanding them kind of gestures towards the stairs, and a couple of the musketeers kind of hurry off and upstairs, while the other three finally come over to face you. And as they walk into this tavern, the general din that was the crowd around you kind of dies.
5-0.
What did you say?
5-0.
It's more that they're very confused as to why there are 3 musketeers here. They all just kind of go quiet and are watching as the commander makes his way over. You are the ones who found the body?
We are, Monsieur Commander. I'm Reverend Dr. Alexander Hutcheson. This is my student, Giulietta La Traviata.
Is she all right?
No.
He has had a bit of a shock, as you may well imagine.
I imagine she might have. Perhaps you could come with us? This is not the place for questions, I think.
To where will we be going? My student is feeling rather ill.
He kind of frowns a little bit. We could step outside. Perhaps the fresh air would help her. He kind of glances around, and you get the feeling he is trying to give you the benefit of not questioning you about a murder in front of a bunch of people.
Can I get up?
Yeah, you can get up. It's not fun, but you can do it.
I will offer Lucia my arm.
Yeah, Lucia will clamber up and try, start heading out, start moving outside.
All right. One of the musketeers kind of falls in on the opposite side of Lucia and takes her other arm to help support her as the group of you make your way out into the night.
Monsieur Commander, whoever you send up to the room, they are to be careful. There are a number of spiders in there. I imagine at least one of them is rather venomous.
The box is here.
Oh, splendid.
And Lucia will grab the box too.
The commander for a moment looked really concerned and a little alarmed that there would be a bunch of venomous spiders in an inn. and then Lucia says that she has it, and the man who was helping to carry her almost lets go. Thankfully, I rolled, and he managed to, keep his wits about him and not just fucking drop her.
I have a migraine and a box of spiders. Please be nice to me.
You step out into the evening. Now, would you two like to explain exactly what you were doing here when you supposedly found this body?
I would be happy to. Earlier this evening, I was accosted in my rooms at La Grande Université by, in fact, a spider, one of the spiders in this box. When it bit me, it gave me a partial message stating that I was in danger. My student, who is from Vodace, is more familiar with this particular breed of spiders, fascinating creatures, really, and made the recommendation that we follow it. So we did. It led us here, to that room where we found the lady with her throat cut.
You were bitten by a spider that could talk, and you followed it home.
See?
Yes, that's about the sum of it.
Monsieur, how much have you had to drink?
The Dodgins, I have the box.
We have the spider, and it has. We have the spider, and it has been established that it will produce the same message for whomever it bites.
You will forgive me if I do not allow you to bite any of my men with.
I won't bite. The spider will.
That is, of course, your choice, Monsieur. But then you will simply have to accept my word for this.
You are staying at the university?
I am, by invitation.
So you are not employed there?
No. I am here doing some. I am here commissioned to do some research, mostly on La Petite Chose. But while here, I have also been pleased to be the guest and now the commissioned agent of the Duchess Therese Roy.
I see.
I put on my best smile.
Normally, this is where I would call you for a roll. But the fact that you are trying to sell him that a spider bit you and you followed it home in the middle of the night, I struggle to see this being a terribly believable thing. At all. What exactly did the spider tell you?
That we were in danger, that there were people out for our lives. Unfortunately, the message cuts off somewhere in the middle, and I feel some detail may have been lost.
Ragno. I have the spider.
And Lucia is like trying to find the spider in the box of spiders now. With everything that's happening, I don't think it's going to be easy.
Lucia, roll me a d10. There's no target number, just roll.
Jesus. 2.
Oh boy. Okay. One moment while I look something up.
Oh no. I don't have to show them my spiders.
Well, you're not holding your spiders, you're holding her spiders.
I'm about to unleash a box of spiders on the cops. And I'm not even going to get drama die for it.
Okay, cool. Lucia.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you rolled really badly. And you know what happens as soon as this thing bites you. It hurts. It hurts a lot. You take 12 wounds.
Jesus Christ. Am I
maybe
just dead?
No.
Maybe.
Well, we have
roll your brawn.
Oh, my 1d10?
Yep.
I have exchanged one problem for another.
You have to beat a 12. So
on a d10?
Hope you get a 10.
Can I spend a drama die on this?
I believe you can spend drama die on brawn checks, yeah.
Yep.
I got... Oh, hold on.
That's a 10.
I'm gonna roll it. I'm gonna spend another one.
Let it go.
Should I?
Yeah, it's fine.
Fine.
All right. You have one dramatic wound. So you have one dramatic wound. All of the other wounds go away, by the way. It just becomes the one. So you stick your hand into the box. You can barely see. You are struggling to hear the people around you clearly. And maybe it's the pain Maybe it's the desperation and the fear of the situation that you were in, but you stick your hand into the box and you immediately feel like hot, searing pain. And you know exactly what this is because this isn't the first time you've taken a spider bite. As a venomous spider sinks its fangs into you.
Fuck.
Well, I hope you don't say that.
In character? Yes, I do. I mean, I know one word, Navalonian.
Okay.
Macaulay's favorite.
When you pull your hand back out, it is red, it is inflamed, and it is quickly swelling. Alexander, you see alarm on the man's face as he takes several steps back from the crazy woman with the box of spiders that doesn't seem to mind that she just poisoned herself. You can see Lucia turning green.
Oh dear. Here we go.
As the the poor musketeer at her side looks like he desperately wants to let go and like he might just do that at any moment.
Yeah, bring her back to the wall. Let us sit down.
I have done something immensely stupid, and I am aware
I can
of
see
it.
that.
I would like us to all acknowledge this moment of clarity that I am having as I'm about to pass out. We're going to need someone who knows how to deal with poisons. And Lucia just starts to pass out.
All right. How many dots in resolve do you have?
I got 3.
Cool. You're not crippled, but, 2 more of those and you will be. The God, how are they going to deal with this? This is such a bizarre fucking situation.
So, can I use surgery to do something historically rational, but medically probably not advised? To tear off a strip of cloth and cinch it around her wrist to keep the poison from starting to spread.
I'll take the poison. Please don't remove my hand.
Not going to remove your hand.
You're going to if you tourniquet it.
Only if I do it for too long.
Well, you said Lucia was passing out, so she can't stop this from happening. Yeah, I would say surgery or first aid would get it.
Okay.
Probably surgery.
Alrighty. Target number?
I mean, this shouldn't be that hard for you. We'll say 20.
Okay.
Oh yeah. You could reroll. You could roll those 10s, but a 36 pretty much does it. I'm
actually fine.
48. No, he doesn't magically cure you. You are unconscious. The musketeer helps you lower her to the floor and lets you work and takes 2 rather hefty steps back behind his commander.
Monsieur Commander, I'm going to need your assistance. We will need to get this lady back to the university and to a place where I can operate to get the poison out of her in rather quickly, unless you wish to be responsible for the loss of her hand, which I think would be ungentlemanly of you. I will be happy to answer all of your questions along the way or as I work, but I am leaving with this woman to save her hand. That much is certain.
Alexander?
Yep.
Roll me panache and oratory, I guess?
Sure.
I'm going to say that your target number is like a 25.
Okay. I'm going to presume he doesn't think I'm pretty.
No.
All right. I said 25?
Yep.
One drama die left. Great. I take a raise.
30, okay.
Gotta spend it. Of course.
And you still fail.
Does it count that I'm very pretty?
No, it does not.
Oh, man.
I'm gonna
All right.
die.
All right. This
I'm
was
just
said as
saying,
a,
I posted a suggestion in Gen Chat.
yeah, no.
I'm crying.
This was said as a joke in Gen Chat, but we're gonna smash cut later to you two both in jail. But you will be given like the use of their surgeon's tools and stuff while you're there.
Okay.
But you are in custody, and they're not entirely convinced that you guys are at least crazy, if not guilty. And with that, we're gonna go back to the sane people who decided to take on a group twice their size. It's gonna be fun.
It's all right. We ambushed them.
Yeah, sure,
totally
that's
under
what
control.
happened.
I ambushed them by calling them out in the street.
That's not how ambushes work, Boo Boo.
Tell Alonso that. He doesn't have any points in strategy.
So you have walked out into the middle of the street. You have called them out in an attempt to I don't know, attempt to throw them off, I guess.
Called them out because I ain't scared of their shit.
All
Let's
right.
do this.
What
Let's go.
exactly do you say?
I believe I said, because we were talking. Me and Viviana were talking, and I glanced them over her shoulder, and as she walked on a little bit, I said, "You know what I like about liars? You can always trust them to lie." Then confronted them. Blades were drawn.
All right. Okay. And we rolled initiative. So, you, Quiva, and one of the baddies are in round 1. You are the PC, so you get to go first.
Excellent. I'm gonna... I was originally going to attack, but I think I'm going to use both of my actions to prepare to riposte.
Okay.
And just say, "Come on then."
All right.
And low-key hope they don't shoot me.
One of the baddies produces a sword and a main gauche, but does not close. He's not the first, like the one in the lead. He's kind of off to the side a little bit. Quiva does something you can't see. And we move on to round 2. Baddie 2 is going to just hold his action. Heinrich.
Okay, so the one baddie that is separated from the rest of the group, do they have like a visible weapon drawn?
It's really hard to see. Like, you could tell that somebody is there, but you can't tell who they are or what they're doing from where you are. Like, they're almost mostly in shadow.
This is not a time for subtlety. So he charges the one bad guy that's separated from the group.
Okay. Cool. What are you going to do?
I think I'll hack them to little bits.
All right. We are attacking.
What's my target number?
You have to beat a 25.
Yeah, that's pretty high for extra damage.
Okay. 16 is not enough. You want to burn drama dice?
Yeah, sure, why not? I've been saving them.
It's 24.
Might as well. I'm in already.
32. Alrighty.
Okay, in that case, I'll roll the damage, which is going to be 10k4.
Okay.
37 total.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Should have dodged.
They take 2 dramatic wounds. All right, you charge out of this alley with this huge man with a sword as big as a person, and into this alleyway, and lunge at this figure who has the hood of a cloak drawn up over their head and their faces in shadow, and thrust your sword directly into their midsection. You hit home. The hood falls back, and you realize that this is a woman who is in a full, like in a dress, and does not appear to be armed at all. And her eyes are wide and kind of shocked. And you could see that her hands have kind of instinctively gone down to where you have sort of impaled her on this massive Zweihander. And she just kind of looks up at you and has this like questioning / shocked look on her face, like she can't believe that just happened to her. Baddie number 2 is going to continue to hold his action. Alonso, do you want to do anything, or are you waiting? You had 2 held actions from round 1 that you didn't do anything with.
Yeah, I thought they were going to come at me, and they didn't. So baddies 1 and 2
are both going this turn, but you are a player, so you get to go first. If you want to.
Nope, I'm holding for active defense. I think these guys are going to come at me, and I want to be able to do something about it.
Baddie 2 is not going to come at you yet. Baddie 1, on the other hand, is as he steps out of like the shadow of a building. He has a face that you recognize, Alonso. This is the tall, thin man that you saw when you confronted the people who were following you and Lucia. And he is going to square up on you, I think. He has his blade out, and you do see the glint of a Swordsman's Guild pin on his chest.
Looking him in the eye.
That'll be a 31.
Okay. I'm glad I have an active defense, because that does bypass my passive. Riposte. 45.
All right. And because you used all of your dice, do you still get to do your counterattack?
I still get the attack, but it's only going to be finesse plus attack halved, which is 5 keep 4.
Okay, do it.
51. Fucking
So
come at
many
me.
tens.
Let's go.
So many fucking tens. There we go. Finally.
There we go.
Jesus. So he comes at you, and he's kind of casual when he approaches you, which is clearly a mistake. Because he, like, his sword comes at you kind of lightning fast, and you manage to kind of bat it away and come back around, and it takes every little bit of skill he has to barely sidestep, and your sword ends up cutting into the cloak that he's wearing. Barely avoiding his body. The first man who drew his weapons last turn but didn't do anything, and another man who has pulled out a sword that seems well, he doesn't hold it like a fencer, let's put it that way. And they have they are both moving off to either side of the guy that you are kind of locked in combat with at the moment. One to your right and one to your left.
Mm-hmm.
And are going to come in from either side. All right. So baddie number 2 is going to go first. He comes up on your side. He has a weapon in either hand. Rolls 34.
Definitely riposting.
Okay.
$30, and I'll throw a drama dice on top of it.
All right.
Succeed.
Cool. Roll your riposte damage.
Oof. Meager.
Not even close. Cool. That's one of his turns. And I'm going to say that makes him feel a little bit more bold.
Mm-hmm.
So he is going to try again with his other hand. 31.
Okay, he hits me.
That is
Copy and paste
22.
did not work how I intended.
22. That's bad. Cool. I don't take a wound.
All right.
I'm for sure gonna from the next guy, but I don't take one right now.
This is the guy with he's not wielding a fencing sword, though he does have a pin.
Mm-hmm.
His sword is broader and slightly curved. Oh, that's awful. That's an 18.
Miss.
All right. That is his turn. We are on to round 3. Baddie number 3 has not gone yet. Is, however, gonna start moving. He is moving around the little cluster of people surrounding Alonso and is headed over to where Viviana is standing. He has a sword in his hand and is hurrying towards her. Does not, however, make like he is going to attempt to stab her. He gets close and he kind of stares at her face, and there's like a moment where Viviana, just make me a raw wits roll.
Okay.
Target number 20. Yeah, 20. If you take raises, you might get more information.
No, I'm not gonna take raises for this. Oh, that's a 13.
All right. He stares at you for a minute, and you kind of stare back. You're a little startled by how quickly this all got very like violent. And the fact that you almost got bowled over when Heinrich ran down the ran past you. And then he turns and he whistles really sharply, and you see at least the eyes of a couple of the men over by Alonso kind of snap to him And then that's all that happens there. You guys hear a soft little whistle from on top of a building, and then you see a body come plummeting down from on top of the building, and Quiva lands on top of one of the dudes, bowls him over, and when he manages to kind of like struggle to his knees, just right hooks him and knocks him out and knocks him over. Not unconscious, just stunned.
Alonso, still holding the other two, touches the tip of his hat and says, "Señorita?"
Viviana, it is your turn.
Oh, wow. So, the guy who walked over to Viviana, is his back to her now?
It's more like his side is to her.
Cool. She, as he was sort of eyeing her and she was eyeing him, she like held up her hands, took a few steps backward as if to say, hey, I don't know what's going on here. I was just taking a walk. And then with his back to, now that he's no longer giving her his undivided attention, she draws her throwing knives.
Is she going to do anything with the throwing knives, or is she only drawing them?
She's probably going to attack him.
Okay. Make your attack roll.
That is 37.
Alrighty. Well, he certainly has to attempt to dodge actively because you passed his active or his passive. 38. Barely scooches by. He looks a little shocked. He does this thing, and it's shocking. You've never seen anyone move this fast and this little in your life. It is like somehow a half a step to the left is all he needs, and he does it so quickly that it's almost like he doesn't move at all. He's just where he needs to be, to the untrained eye, and especially in the heat of the moment. There is another sharp whistle, this one from the tall, thin man who is the first one to engage with Alonso. In that moment, the guy with the curved sword does this large, like, arcing motion with his sword. And you're not entirely sure what he's doing because it doesn't look like he's taking aim at you, Alonso, until you hear the tip of the blade kind of drag against these uneven, like pitted cobblestone streets, just a little bit. And when it comes up, it flings a bunch of dirt up into your face. And then you hear, as you are kind of clearing the dirt from your face, you realize that they are running. And that Quiva is kind of in the process of struggling with one of them. And he actually like takes his cloak, half tosses it on her just long enough to kind of disengage from the melee that she had managed to lock him in. And he kind of rolls like half like backwards somersaults, pops up onto his feet and is running with the rest of them. Heinrich, the woman is not running. Wow. She is bleeding out in front of you.
Yes. And, Heinrich reaches into his bag and pulls out, like, a cloth or something and will try and stop the bleeding in spite of his utter lack of any skills involving first aid.
Probably not. Roll me a raw wits.
Okay. What's my target number?
Oh my god, this is a lot. Like 25.
Okay. You're going to die.
You have no tools, no real medical knowledge other than stick up with the pointy end. And that the blood should be on the inside.
Yeah, it's better that way. It depends on your perspective, though. Yeah, nope.
Okay. Do you want to spend drama dice?
No, I do not.
Okay. She drops to her knees, and you could see her face getting more and more kind of gray, and the light beginning to go out in her eyes. You watch as the light begins to go out in her eyes, and she, with trembling, kind of blood-soaked hands, takes a crumpled piece of paper from a pocket in her skirt, and shoves it into your armored palm. And then she collapses.
Okay, I will take a look at the piece of paper.
What languages do you speak?
Ison and Montaigne.
It is not in a language that you can read.
Okay, then it goes into a pocket.
And the three of you are left there with a dead body.
Viviana, not seeing the dead body yet, emerges from where she was still in the alleyway and had backed further into it and says, "Well, this appears to have been somewhat of a bust."
Ugh. Wipes eyes. Oh,
Is everyone okay?
fine.
Yes, I'm fine. And Heinrich, walks out of the other alley, probably spattered in a fair amount of blood.
Yeah, there is a lot of blood.
Oh,
You got one?
managed. Yeah.
Yes, there was what appeared to be another one lying in wait in the alley behind you.
I see. Good. What is... I'm gonna go look.
In the alley?
Yeah.
There is a body of a woman in a fairly simple peasant's garb.
Heinrich.
Yes.
Did you take her weapon?
I did not see one, but she was in the alley, appeared to be preparing to move out behind you. So I had to act quickly.
Viviana's brow furrows a bit. She goes also to take a glance at this body in the alley.
Or we should leave quickly before the authorities arrive.
Agreed.
Oh, yeah, you
Wondered.
fucking say so.
This was not the outcome I had hoped for, but it seems they figured or determined that you are not in fact their target.
Yes, well, the man who came into the alley, he stopped to look at me. He was staring at me for quite some time. I assume he concluded that I was not the person he was sent for.
All right, let's go. And we flee the scene.
Okay, where are you going?
Did we say we were going to meet back at the university?
Probably. Although our next, job thing is to meet with the place where you and I met. I guess it's probably late at night. That lady's not holding a party right now.
I believe the plan was to go back to the inn, which is where we split into two groups. You recall, we all followed the spider to the inn, and then the three of us then left to go to the tavern.
Yes.
Yep. We should get back. So that's where we go.
Viviana, as they're about to run, pauses, stares at the body of the woman. She probably, as they're beginning to pull a bit ahead, goes over and nudges her with her foot if she's collapsed on her face so she can see the woman's face.
She is just a woman that you haven't seen before. She's got brown hair, tan skin.
Do you know how to check for a pulse?
Viviana does not have professional medical training. She sees that this woman has likely bled out completely.
Oh yeah, it looks like something very large and very sharp went through most of her torso.
Yeah, she's just going to... if the woman's eyes are open, she'll bend down a bit, close them, and then head off to join the rest of the group.
Back at the jail, Alexander, you are with Lucia?
Yep.
You have been put in a cell. What you know from the commander is that they have sent a runner to check on your claims of working with La Grande Dame. And you were asked on the way if you had anybody who could confirm your alibi that you were not there at the time that the woman likely was killed.
I'm
not sure that you do, because you spent your whole evening in your room by yourself.
That would presume they have some idea of when the woman was killed, or that I have some idea of when the woman was killed.
I mean, they are trying to put together your story right. Versus what they can figure out from the scene.
Yeah. So no.
Okay.
I do not.
Would you like to attempt to make a check to see if you can deal with this dramatic wound of hers?
Absolutely.
Roll what's in surgery target number 10.
Has she woken up?
Yeah, we'll say she's probably awake by now. It wasn't so bad that she had to pass out. It was just a narrative choice by the player.
I will request that some wine is brought for the young lady, because what I'm about to do is very painful.
Okay. They are happy to provide you with wine.
All right. And we're essentially having to, in order to get this tourniquet off as fast as I can, the surgical thing to do is to cut open the wound, bleed the wound for a little bit, and then stitch it back up. Yeah, that's what I thought. 60. Yeah.
All right.
So
you can get rid of your wound, Lucia.
Huzzah!
With his gold rimmed spectacles on, he will bleed the wound onto a plate for a little bit, take it away, clean it thoroughly, and then sew it closed.
Lucia is very drunk, still has a migraine, but is no longer suffering from poison, so that's something. Alexander.
Yes.
Roll me a raw resolve. Yes, resolve roll, please.
19.
All right. As you are working, it's not so bad that you can't focus, but you begin to hear a tune in the back of your head. And anytime you try to think about it, it seems to kind of slip out of your fingers.
But do I recognize it? Having possibly heard it earlier this evening.
In order to do that, you'd have to focus on it some more. Because like I said, every time you think about it actively,
okay,
it slips out of your fingers.
Then what I'd like to do is when I am done stitching up Lucia's hand, presuming they have taken all of my writing implements.
Oh yeah. Once you're done, and once you're done stitching stuff up, they will take the surgeon kit too, because they don't want you using it as weapons.
I will, having heard Lucia describing it earlier, thinking about the way it bubbled up unconsciously, I will pick out possibly a rodent cellmate of mine and sort of stare at it while I take a stick. And if I start to hear it again, I'm going to try and absent-mindedly scratch notes onto the wall.
Make me a single D10 roll, because you're inside. I want to see if there is something like a stick that you can grab in the cell. We'll leave this up to chance. If it is evens, you get one. Odds, you don't.
I have a stick. It's probably a little one, like pencil size, but
okay. You managed to find a small stick and
amidst the straw.
You're scratching at the wall?
Yep.
All right.
If the music starts again while I'm watching the rat.
Dottore, I have several questions. The first is, are we in jail?
We are.
And the second is, do I still have a hand?
You do.
Well, then is this not as bad as it could be?
You should be playing again with a minimum of fuss in probably about a week or two.
I have a third question.
Yes?
Is my head still attached to my body because it hurts?
It is.
Could we remedy that as well?
I'm afraid they took the hacksaw away from me, so you're just going to have to muddle up.
Lucia drinks more wine.
Alexander, roll me another raw resolve check, please.
$16.
As Lucia kind of lapses into silence, you do in fact begin to hear that kind of absent tune in the back of your head. It's not unpleasant. To be clear, are you hoping that the scratching on the wall will kind of become like almost like free writing but with music?
Kind of. Mostly what I'm doing, he's scratching notes, and so he'll be able to tell between like the difference between like a quarter note and a half note, and if he's lucky, he'll get, okay, this note was higher than the last note, this one was lower than the last note, but he's not trying to like put in a whole scale or nothing.
Okay. Roll me resolve and composer. We're gonna make this a target number, say 25. Damn,
6.
just barely, but you got it. Yeah, you begin to kind of make these very crude, rudimentary marks with the stick on the wall. It's like dragging a tree a tree branch against stone. So it's really just like straight lines that look vaguely like they're tracking like a pattern up and down.
The Dayan monks used to use their hands to track notes. It was how I first learned how to read music. Still very not, truly not here. Lucia sort of is watching, will watch Dr. Hutcheson do this and try to understand what he's trying to write.
You can make a wits and musician roll. You're going to be at -1 dice because of the migraine. Target number 15. This is a fairly straightforward thing.
25.
All right. You can tell that it is something like music, maybe. Like he's not. There isn't like like there aren't bars and he's not marking out notes, but you could kind of imagine like a conductor's hands moving with melody.
Dottore, I have been hearing music, I think.
Oh, hold that thought for just another moment. I'll scratch out a few more notes and I'll stop. Yes, please go on.
I've been hearing what I think is music, and I wrote it down, and now I'm dying.
You're not dying. You have a rather severe headache based on the way I can see your veins throbbing in your skull. And of course you have you're in the process of recovering from a venomous spider bite. You hummed some of it earlier when you wrote it down. Can you recall it now?
Can I?
No.
No.
You try to, and it's like trying to grab wind. It just slips through your fingers.
Was it? So go ahead.
I'm starting to think I'm cursed.
You're not cursed. At least I don't think so. Not unless I am cursed alongside you.
I would not put that past either of us, frankly.
I haven't touched any threads of fate in my entire lifetime that I am aware of.
Lucia?
Yes?
Roll me, roll me raw resolve.
15.
You say that as he is saying he has never touched a fate thread in his life, you realize that you could see the same gold thread that was wrapped around you now extends from you to wrap around him.
I may have done something stupid.
I'm presuming that when you say that, you are not including putting your hand in a box that had a venomous spider in it.
I am currently reassessing most of the choices I have made over the last 6 months. This may be very stupid. I don't know how to explain this one.
While she's talking, I'm going to turn to my scratches and attempt to put them into more musical order, specifically trying to break them into measures.
Okay.
So I can figure out how many notes are in a measure.
All right. Let's say that's a wits and composer. target 30. Especially because you don't have Lucia's written down notes because you guys were grabbed and taken to prison. So you don't have that to reference.
Nope.
Would you like to spend a fate die or a drama die?
I am fresh out, so no.
Okay.
I don't know how to describe what's happening because you do not have a frame of reference for what I'm going to explain. But I think whatever has given me the migraine has also given me another fate thread. Which is why I'm not unconvinced we are both cursed. Good cursed. Blessed? Is that the opposite of cursed? I think so.
Generally. What makes you say this?
Well, fate threads come in 4 colors. Red, blue, green, and yellow. I've never seen one in gold.
It's also worth knowing you know that there is a 5th color that they definitely come in that you've never seen one.
I'm just not going to talk about it.
Okay.
He doesn't need to know about black threads.
That's fair.
Do I have my sortie deck on me?
No. All of your belongings have been taken from you because you are in prison.
Ah, yes, I keep forgetting that. How are we going to tell our friends we're in prison?
I have no idea. I'm still waiting for someone to tell me what we've been charged with, other than being peculiar.
You are smart enough to get that you are at least suspected of being involved in a woman's death.
I do feel like poisoning myself in front of the cops has to have absolved us a little.
The problem we face is this.
Go ahead. Sorry.
The problem we face is this. In a civilized country, they would require some sort of evidence in order to arrest us and charge us with this thing. We are in Montaigne.
I'm worried that where you come from is far more reasonable than anywhere else. Okay, eccolo. We are in prison. We are being charged with standing near a dead body.
Indeed.
And we are haunted by a power I do not understand that is slightly related to the thing that I can do, and I do not know how to deal with it. And our friends don't know we're here.
Oh.
I'm just taking stock of the situation again.
Yes, so you said you could see... So... You heard music in the back of your mind.
Yes, and then every time I try to catch it, it's gone.
And this is the music you were making note of that caused your head to become worse.
Yes.
I see.
I assume a sorcerer king is going to climb out of my head fully formed.
Well, that would be something. But it would ruin your hair, so I must object.
Well, thank you. I think my hair was ruined when I got poisoned.
It is a bit ruffled.
So, I took the wrong spider with me today. So are we just going to sit quietly and wait till they charge us? Or let us go?
Sadly, I left my escape from prison kit in my other coat. Can I make perhaps a law roll to know if I have any rights whatsoever?
Sure. Wits and law. This is not a country that you are hugely familiar with the laws of, so we're going to make this a 25.
Okay. Nope.
You are unsure. You have heard stories about people in Montaigne going and doing something that seems totally normal where they're from and it not going over well here, but you've also heard of like crazy ass things happening here that no one seems to care about.
Like
this is, after all,
a mom throwing her child in prison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is also a country that is, you know, incredibly atheistic and has open displays of sorcery, which is uncommon other places, if not downright like banned.
Are we in like the big prison, like the donjon prison?
No, you're in like a it's more like a constable or sheriff's office. You're not in the dungeon.
Is there a window?
Yeah, but there's bars over it.
That's fine. I'm just trying to get a sense of where we are in Charuz.
You can look out the window.
I'm gonna do that.
Do you have streetwise or street navigation?
Of course I don't. Have you met me?
Well, then you get to roll straight wits. We're gonna go with a target target number 25. It's a small window and it's nighttime. All right. From what you could tell, you seem to be still in. I say still. You're in what looks like probably the like merchants' quarter, not the poorest part of the city, but also not the richest part of the city.
The merchant's quarter is how far away from where we were all going to meet up?
I mean, you don't know exactly how far, but you're, I mean, you know, you're in the same part of the city, but you don't know how far from it exactly you are. This isn't exactly a place that you are familiar with.
I'm about to do some deeply stupid shit.
Oh no, okay.
Is there anyone walking by?
No, it's nighttime, babe.
I'm gonna look at Dottore before I do this. Dottore.
Yes?
Is there any more trouble we can get in by causing a disturbance right now?
Yes.
How much more?
They take us to the donjon.
Nah, that would be a problem. So I shouldn't yell out this window, correct?
Correct.
I'm no longer planning on doing something stupid.
Okay.
Maybe Alonso and Heinrich and Viviana will just walk by.
Eventually they will return to the inn and look for us, and we will not be there.
Well, and then someone at the inn might say we were arrested, and then they will think to look for us here.
Possibly.
Pivoting back to Alonso, Heinrich, and Viviana. You all have left the scene of the murder and are the other murder, and are headed where?
Not murder, preemptive self-defense.
That assumes that somebody was that the person that you killed was going to attack you, which is assuming a lot considering that she had no weapons.
The bar where we left Lucia and the Reverend Doctor.
Yes.
Okay. Are you doing anything on your way there?
Yes. If we, as we're walking there, kind of sticking to the shadows, and Heinrich is keeping an eye out for a water barrel, a horse trough, anything with, water in it.
Given how busy the city has been and everything that's going on, it is not hard to find like horse troughs that are set up here and there for people's mounts, and the donkeys that get used to pull carts around and such.
Yeah. So he picks out another cloth that he would normally use for cleaning his sword, dips it into the water, and then kind of steps somewhere out of sight, and starts wiping, the blood spray off of the front of his armor, wipes down his sword, takes off his helmet, and wipes off a few spots of blood that went in through the eye holes of his helmet. And then puts his helmet back on and reaches into the pocket where he put the note, pulled out where he put the note that the woman handed him, and looks at it and turns to his companions and say, do any of you read this letter? I unfortunately do not know the language.
I will also say that if Heinrich allowed it, Viviana would have helped him clean off the blood.
Sure. Absolutely, he would allow it.
Okay. She would have just made sure, like, the spots on his armor that aren't immediately evident to him. She would have just taken a cloth out of one of the pockets of her dress and begun wiping those down. And she looks up at the note as when he presents it.
What languages can Alonso and Viviana read and write?
Montaigne, Vitace, and Castilla.
Let me look. I think it's very
Just
much
as a reminder,
this.
you do have to pay extra to be able to read and write in a language.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I speak Avalon, Castile, Montaigne, and Vitace, but I can only read and write in Vitace.
Neither of you can read and write this particular note. Are you bringing Quiva with you, or did you kind of part ways?
I mean,
we left. It's kind of up to her if she followed.
I'm definitely giving her a nod, like, you're welcome to join us.
Okay. Well, then she would certainly have followed you. Quiva kind of looks over your shoulder and frowns a little bit. Where'd you get that?
It belonged to the woman in the alley.
All right. She looks like she wants to ask a question and has just decided to blow past that and instead kind of reaches up and very gently plucks the note from your fingers. Well, it's Avalonian, but it doesn't make any fucking sense. It's just gibberish.
Gibberish? Perhaps some sort of code?
Perhaps, but I'm
We should
no code
take this to the Reverend Doctor.
I would.
Yes.
Who's the Reverend Doctor?
One of our companions. We left him at the inn that we are going to. We hope to be rejoining him in a bit.
Does he have a name?
Alexander Hutcheson.
She kind of stops, like mid-walk.
Insight check.
You're not exactly one for keeping a low profile. And she's looking at Viviana.
Viviana just shrugs. I take what I can get.
You can make an insight check, or what do you have, like cold read or something?
I do. I have cold read.
What's in cold read?
19.
Okay. And you beat hers, which was a 16. I didn't give her the pretty advantages though. She certainly recognizes the name. She seems more shocked that she specifically, and this matches the words that come out of her mouth, she seems shocked that Viviana in particular is hanging out with somebody with a name that she recognizes. But eventually she just sort of, when Viviana says she takes what she can get, she just sort of shrugs and frowns and keeps walking.
All right. Let's get to the inn.
Just to be clear, you don't know who those people were.
Not in the
Right.
slightest.
I assumed they
No.
were brigands with a particular target, but they demonstrated certain skills. They engaged cleverly and clearly had a plan to communicate without speaking. No simple bandits.
No, and I had a better look than the rest of you at them because I was up high, but most of them were carrying pretty well-made weapons.
And it is quite obvious that they were looking for our friend Giulietta.
Right.
When it appeared that they saw through your disguise and then realizing their target was not here, they retreated. This obviously suggests well-trained and well-organized. As for their motive, I frankly am not certain.
We shall ask her when we see her.
She just sort of nods, and you all. It takes a while to get there because it's in a nicer part of the city than where you were. You were in one of the poorer districts. But eventually you arrive, and it's kind of. It's a little chaotic, but also somehow less chaotic than the place that you were at before. Most of the lower floor is still like packed with people, but they are all sitting, and they're sitting pretty quietly. And there are men in the blue tabards of the musketeers all over the place. And you can see that some of them are talking to people, some of them are going up and down the stairs. It's kind of all over the place.
Viviana will mutter, Murta, under her breath, because knowing their luck, this probably has something to do with their companions.
Yeah. I'm gonna go talk to the cops.
I'm gonna go talk to a random person.
Okay. Well, I know one of you is going to talk to one of the musketeers. One of you is going to talk to a random person. Heinrich, what are you doing?
He is just going to keep an eye out and survey the scene to see if he notices anyone acting suspiciously. More, he's going to look and see if he sees anyone else watching what's going on with more than a normal amount of interest.
Okay. Give me. Do you have anything? Do you have anything like insight?
Perception would be it.
Okay. What's in perception? Target number 20.
Okay. Okay, 18. Yeah, I'll spend one.
Excellent.
Okay, 22.
All right. It is hard to define what is normal in what seems to be an ongoing crime scene investigation. You pick up on that pretty quickly. Just listening to the people around you, you hear whispers about people saying that someone was found murdered upstairs. That a couple of people got taken away. So everybody here is clearly paying attention to what is going on. Some certainly seem more intent than others. Some seem fidgety and nervous. And some look bored and frustrated, but everybody is very clearly and very pointedly watching what is going. Well, except for the people who seem bored. They seem to be staring into what you gather are not cups of beer and wine anymore, and grumbling as they wait to be told that they can leave.
Okay, and he'll pay attention to what the fidgety looking people are doing.
There is a young man who is kind of constantly glancing at the musketeers. He looks a little nervous. Looks like he would rather be anywhere but in a place full of musketeers, but he's not like trying to get away. You just see him. He is sitting and he's doing a thing that one of your old comrades used to do before battles, before he would put on his armor and stuff. Is he is sitting there and he is like rubbing his palms against the legs of his pants, kind of repetitively. Like they're always sweaty, like he's always nervous.
Okay. Keep an eye on that guy and, see if he does anything as the scene progresses.
Okay. Viviana, who are you gonna go talk to?
One of the gentlemen who, just a random gentleman who seems to be watching the scene, not with a particular amount of interest, just observing.
Okay. There is a slightly older, kind of portly man with brown hair and brown eyes, and fairly nice clothing. It's like upper middle class, probably a merchant of some sort. And he is watching what is going on, and occasionally stopping to murmur to the kind of thin, severe-looking woman who is sitting beside him, in a language that you do not speak. But he also occasionally stops and swaps to Montaigne. Maybe a barmaid comes by and replaces his cup, and he swaps to Montaigne pretty smoothly to think.
Viviana will go up to him and say, "Well, I expected this bar to be more lively."
He looks a little slack-jawed for a minute when you walk up, which is not an uncommon reaction to a woman of your caliber. Yes, well, it was, but, and he kind of gestures at everything going on. Things have slowed down in some ways and sped up in others.
Do you have any idea what has happened? I was supposed to meet someone here. I suppose they may have left when she gestures at the entire bar filled with musketeers when this happened.
I don't know exactly. What I've been able to pick up is that a woman was found dead upstairs. And he gestures at a passing musketeer. They are looking into it, trying to figure out what happened. And a woman collapsed outside. I did hear that.
Right. The woman who collapsed, did she happen to be with an older gentleman?
I'm not sure. Just that she collapsed and the musketeers took her away. I was not paying very close attention until they shut everything down.
I do not blame you. It is good to mind one's own business, especially in times like these. She gives him a charming smile. Thank you for telling me what you could.
Of course. Alonso. What are you doing?
Is there a musketeer who's clearly in charge? Or just one that looks older and maybe better dressed?
Yeah, you could probably find a slightly older musketeer. You don't know if he's in charge or not. It doesn't seem like whoever is in charge is on the main floor. Because it seems like anytime someone says that they have to go talk to the captain or they have to go ask a question or whatever, they go upstairs.
All right. Does it look like they just let me go upstairs?
No.
All right.
The man who looks kind of older and a little bit more senior, like he might be a little bit more senior, is tall with this kind of like dirty blonde / brown hair with bits of salt and pepper at his temples.
Good evening, monsieur.
Good evening. I'm sorry, but the inn is closed for business.
And I have no need for the business of the inn. My business tonight is with you. The woman, the person who was injured, a young woman? Or no?
How do you know this woman?
I was sworn to protect a young woman, an impetuous Vadocian, about my age. She was in the company of an older Avalon man who speaks quite a lot. I must find her. It is a matter of honor.
And your name is?
Alonso Hernandez.
Well, Monsieur Hernandez, I hate to tell you this, but your companion is currently being held on suspicion of murder.
I see. But she is all right.
I don't know. I heard from one of my companions that she collapsed and they took her to the jail, but the man with her was a doctor, so hopefully she is fine.
Indeed. Thank you. Do you know where she could be taken? How might I? Do you know where?
Yes.
Might I know also?
He kind of looks you over for a minute. I can tell you, but I don't think they will release her into your custody or anything.
I disagree. I intend to post a letter to an ally of mine who I believe will have her out before the sun rises.
He sort of, again, looks you over at your sort of like ragamuffin clothes and your tousled hair.
And probably still a little flush in the cheeks.
Yep.
Oh, and a rip in my clothes where I got hit by a sword less than an hour ago.
Yep. You certainly don't look like the type who has friends at high places who can break somebody out of jail. But he will give you directions to about what you surmise is a smaller jail about 2 or 3 blocks over. Usually where they put people who are like drunk and disorderly or just being held for questioning.
Gracias. And then I'm gonna go back to the others.
So what happened? Are they in the inn?
No, they were arrested. The corner of Alonso's mouth twitches in a mostly concealed smile.
And why were they
Of
arrested?
course they were.
I did not ask. I do not think it is important right now. We should secure their release. I thought perhaps the mother of their current boss could be useful in that.
Perhaps.
I'm sorry, who are we talking about?
Excuse me. He goes to say it, and then he looks at the other two.
Quiva sort of puts her hands on her hips. Look, I've only given you my clothes and gotten into it. Well, you know what, without the pin. It's not like I haven't gone out of my way to be useful.
This is true. You have been nothing but a gentleman of honor. We have a certain business relationship with Le Grand Dame.
I see.
Indeed.
Viviana rubs her temples.
She is correct. She has been nothing but a gentleman of honor. Aided us without promise of reward. Risked herself when she did not have to, knowing the
No.
fight was against us.
No, that is not. I am not upset with you for sharing this information. I am. Tonight has been a lot.
Indeed it has. And it would seem our work is not done.
What, so now you have to convince the former captain of the former leader of the Musketeers to let your friends out of jail?
More or less. I believe a letter posted quickly would reach her by morning. She could have them out before noon. I do not wish to wake the Grand Dame for a matter such as this.
If you say so. Quiva looks vaguely flummoxed. Well, if this is going to be something that gets put on hold for the night, I think I'm going back to my room and I'm getting some sleep.
Certainly. If you wish to reach out to us once more, we frequently gather at the what's the college called?
The university.
Yes, at the university.
I'll see you there tomorrow then. I need my clothes back.
Nod.
She will give Viviana a little nod.
Mm-hmm. Viviana nods back.
And then she'll kind of look way up at Heinrich and reach out and just sort of pat him on the arm. Did not say anything and then turn and walk away. Off into the city for the night. Thank you for listening to Opus de Requiem, a 7th C First Edition actual play by Hollowhaven Studios. Storytelling for this actual play is provided by Bloodied Porcelain. Alexander Hutcheson is played by Bookkeeper. Lucia De Felici is played by Clara Allison. Heinrich von Groth is played by Typhoon. Alonso Hernandez is played by Overthinker. Viviana Lucani is played by Glamour. Our intro music is by Sémø. Our art is by Daryl Arazak, who can be found at artstation.com/Daryl Arazak. Our editing is by Virens.